World War I, also known as the Great War, was a global conflict that engulfed Europe from 1914 to 1918. It involved many of the world's great powers divided into two opposing alliances, the Allies and the Central Powers. It was marked by unprecedented bloodshed, technological advancements, and profound global consequences. The scale of the conflict was unlike anything the world had ever seen before. Millions of soldiers were mobilized, fighting in brutal conditions across vast battlefields. The trenches became a symbol of the war's grueling and stagnant nature. New technologies such as machine guns, tanks, and poison gas transformed warfare, leading to unprecedented casualties. These innovations changed the face of combat forever. The war led to the collapse of empires, the redrawing of national borders, and the rise of new ideologies. The Treaty of Versailles, signed in 1919, aimed to bring lasting peace but also sowed the seeds for future conflicts. Understanding World War I is crucial for comprehending the complexities of the 20th century and the world we live in today. The war's aftermath had far-reaching effects on global politics, economics, and society. It serves as a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of unchecked nationalism and the failure of diplomacy. The lessons learned from this conflict continue to resonate, reminding us of the importance of international cooperation and peace. The outbreak of World War I was the result of a complex interplay of long-term factors and immediate triggers. Nationalism fueled rivalries and territorial disputes among European nations. Militarism, the glorification of military strength, led to a dangerous arms race. Imperialism, the pursuit of colonial empires, created tensions over resources and territories. The intricate system of alliances in Europe escalated the crisis. These alliances, intended to deter aggression, instead drew nations into the conflict. When one nation declared war, its allies were obligated to come to its aid. This created a domino effect that rapidly engulfed Europe in war. The immediate trigger for World War I was the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand and his wife Sophie in Sarajevo on June 28, 1914. Gavrilo Princip, a Serbian nationalist, carried out the assassination. Austria-Hungary, outraged, blamed Serbia and issued an ultimatum. Serbia sought support from its ally Russia, which began mobilizing its army. Germany, fearing a two-front war, declared war on Russia and its ally France. Germany's invasion of neutral Belgium brought Great Britain into the war. Within days, the major European powers were at war. World War I witnessed the emergence of trench warfare, a brutal and static form of combat. Armies dug vast networks of trenches across France and Belgium. Life in the trenches was characterized by mud, disease, and constant threat of death. Soldiers endured relentless artillery bombardments, machine gun fire, and sniper attacks. New technologies revolutionized warfare, including machine guns, tanks, and poison gas. Battles like the Somme and Verdun resulted in hundreds of thousands of casualties. The war became a bloody stalemate, with neither side able to achieve a decisive victory. These technological advancements led to unprecedented levels of casualties. World War I was a global conflict, drawing in colonies and nations far from Europe. The war's reach extended beyond the European continent, affecting people and places across the globe. European powers mobilized their colonial empires, recruiting soldiers and resources from their vast overseas territories. These colonies provided essential manpower and materials that were crucial for sustaining the war effort. Millions of colonial troops fought and died in the war, often in harsh and unfamiliar conditions. Their contributions and sacrifices were significant, yet they are frequently overlooked in the broader narrative of the war. The United States, initially neutral, entered the war on the side of the Allies in 1917. This decision marked a pivotal shift in the dynamics of the conflict. German submarine warfare, which threatened international shipping, and the interception of the Zimmermann telegram, which proposed a military alliance between Germany and Mexico, were key factors in the US decision to join the war. The US entry provided much-needed manpower, resources, and financial support to the Allies. American industry and agriculture also played a vital role in supplying the war effort. American troops helped to bolster the Allied lines and turn the tide against Germany. Their fresh energy and resources were instrumental in countering the exhausted Central Powers. The US entry into the war had a significant impact on the course of the conflict. It not only provided a morale boost to the Allies, but also brought new strategies and technologies to the battlefield. It marked a turning point, tipping the balance of power in favor of the Allies. The eventual victory and the signing of the armistice on November 11, 1918, were influenced by the US involvement. By 1918, the tide of the war began to turn against the Central Powers. The entry of the United States tipped the balance of power in favor of the Allies. The Central Powers faced internal pressures, including economic hardship and political instability. Germany launched desperate offensives in 1918, which ultimately failed. The Allied armies, bolstered by American reinforcements, launched counteroffensives. The collapse of the German home front led to the German request for an armistice in November 1918. The armistice marked the end of hostilities on the Western Front. The Treaty of Versailles, signed in 1919, officially ended World War I. The treaty imposed harsh terms on Germany, including accepting responsibility for the war. Germany was forced to cede territory, disarm its military, and pay massive reparations. The treaty's harsh terms were met with anger and resentment in Germany. The treaty also redrew the map of Europe, creating new nations and altering borders. The Austro-Hungarian Empire was dissolved, the Ottoman Empire was dissolved, the Russian Empire was dissolved. The treaty established the League of Nations, an international organization designed to prevent future wars. The League of Nations, however, was weakened by the refusal of the United States to join. World War I had a profound impact on the world, reshaping the political, social, and economic landscape. The war led to the collapse of the Austro-Hungarian, Ottoman, and Russian empires. These empires were broken up into new states, such as Czechoslovakia, Yugoslavia, and Turkey. The war also led to the redrawing of national borders in Europe. Germany lost territory to France, Belgium, Denmark, and Poland. The war led to the deaths of millions, leaving behind a generation scarred by war. The war also led to economic hardship, social upheaval, and political instability. These changes, while intended to create a more stable Europe, led to new tensions and conflicts. In the aftermath of World War I, there was a widespread desire to prevent future wars. The devastation and loss experienced by millions created a collective yearning for a more stable and peaceful world. This led to the creation of the League of Nations, an international organization designed to promote peace and cooperation among countries. It aimed to provide a platform for resolving conflicts through dialogue and negotiation rather than warfare. The League of Nations was the brainchild of US President Woodrow Wilson, who passionately advocated for its establishment. He believed that such an organization was essential for maintaining global peace. The League's covenant was incorporated into the Treaty of Versailles, which officially ended World War I. This treaty laid the groundwork for the League's mission and objectives. The League faced significant challenges, including the refusal of the United States to join. This decision weakened the League's influence and effectiveness on the global stage. Despite its limitations, the League represented an important step towards international cooperation. It set a precedent for future organizations dedicated to global peace and security. World War I shattered the illusion of progress and exposed the fragility of peace. The horrors of the trenches and the widespread destruction left an indelible mark on the collective consciousness. The war's lessons, however, were not fully learned, leading to another destructive conflict 2 decades later. The outbreak of World War II highlighted the need for a more robust and inclusive international system to prevent such tragedies. Thank you for watching. For more videos on history, politics, and travel from all over the globe, please like and subscribe to Atlas Tuition.